one time, and him and Mo just leave the movie. And then cut to some black market guys. It's a shifty-looking neighborhood.
This I like.
Shifty-looking dealers.
Mm-hmm.
They pull out a box.
Yeah.
And out of the box, they pull out some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they open it up and they do
he tests it like a drug dealer
like
testing the fucking thing of like, yep, that's good.
That's pure stuff.
Yeah. And that's
I think I read that Patrick Dempsey was one of these shifty drug dealers.
I would believe it completely.
And I'm like, oh, you gotta start somewhere, McDreamy. So that's the stuff. And I loved it. Because this is right up my alley.
This movie makes absolutely no sense.
No, absolutely not.
Even the story it's trying to tell doesn't make sense.
But, they don't... In the 80s, they stopped making these kind of movies.
They really did, because, as we'll point out when we're talking about our next movie, this movie is the most 80s movie we've covered. Because this is one of those things where this kind of movie happened in the 80s and has never and will never happen again.
Like, the only other movie that happened like this was the direct remake of The Blob in, I think, 88.
It was, yeah, but again, 80s.
But that's a remake,
yeah,
right? Of a 50s movie. Because they don't make creature... They stopped at... I don't know at what point they stopped making creature features.
When they stopped making money. Because none of these movies made...
Again,
this
movie didn't make any
originally,
money, right?
They made money, but they stopped making money, so this shit just doesn't fly. Because they would rather, instead of trying something new like this, they'll just remake Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Or
again.
The Blob.
Or The Blob. Well, no, Invasion of the Body Snatchers has been done like 5 times.
Yeah,
The Blob's only been done once,
yeah.
Aside from the original. Like, Invasion of the Body Snatchers in some way, shape, or form has been done at least 5 times.
Right.
Most recently, I think, with the Nicole Kidman one. Just called, I think, Invasion.
Yeah.
Same shit.
But yeah, as I'm not going to sit here and this is what, you crazy? This is...
No, this movie's ridiculous.
No,
this movie's idiotic.
No. I'm giving it a great rating because I love this kind of shit. And when the effects are good in this movie...
They're great.
They're great.
Yeah. That rotating room still fucking works.
You know, the rotating room, when the stuff looks good, it looks really good.
The first part of the Garrett Morris explosion is great.
When people, Garrett Morris and the dog and other characters, when they're all stuffied out like that, like, them shaking and just... Like, the fucking noise that comes out of them is
really
unnerving.
good. Yeah, it is really good.
And I get that the higher-ups here wanted more of just a straight horror. This movie wouldn't have worked if it was that movie.
No.
This movie needed to be fucking nuts because the guy making it is
nuts.
But
I gotta tell you, part of me agrees with Roger Ebert. And for me to give it a higher rating than I'm gonna... It would have needed to be more of a horror movie. It doesn't need to be a complete horror movie.
Yeah,
you could still be ridiculous, but it needed more horror. It needed more horror elements.
Maybe a couple more people turning stuffy.
Perhaps. A little more suspense.
Yeah.
Because also the suspense was kind of lacking in this. Especially when,
there's no suspense.
You know, because you could have easily, with, say, Jason in the tanker, you could have had the stuff trying to attack him and he's slowly
pulling
climbing
at his legs.
Stuff like that, but it really didn't do any of that.
Here's the thing.
That could have been...
Is that a budget thing?
That could have been a budget thing. Could have been the effects company fucking up. We don't know. But I can only judge the final product. I can't judge based on everything I know. I have to judge the final product.
And also, it's the fact that the guy who wrote and directed this didn't think he was making a horror movie.
No, he didn't. And that was the first problem, like, when, you know, the producers and the director have to get on the same page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they clearly were not.
That being said, I do love this movie a lot, so I'm giving it 8 stuffies out of 10. Again, fucking, it's not even just the stuffiness of it all and the effects. It's the fucking character. Like, David Moriarty's fucking nuts in this movie.
He really is.
He makes no sense, and the actors around him are like, what? Why? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, when he walks into a scene and goes, that's a sweaty palm, that's 2 sweaty palms, they're probably like, what are you doing, David? That's probably not in the script.
I'm sure it's not. The bonus is that they kept it in, or it was written into the script that they're just reacting to him like he's nuts.
Yeah.
They're not just allowing it like it's perfectly normal. Everybody's reacting to him like he's insane.
And all the side characters, you know, your Chocolate Chip Charlies, your Colonel Spears.
I do enjoy the Chocolate Chip Charlie reaction as if we're supposed to know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, there is no build-up to the Chocolate Chip Charlie thing. None.
It's just like, you're Chocolate Chip Charlie.
And we as the audience are supposed to go, oh my god, it's Chocolate Chip Charlie. I'm like, wait, we don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
There are so many opportunities where you could have shown us something to show who he is. Nope, none of that. We're not doing that.
Like a commercial or something.
Yeah, anything. But, and again, this movie does a great job at the commercials. By the way, I forgot to mention, because there was a scene where they showed another great commercial where it's two old people.
Abe Vigoda
and I'll explain who she is, because that's actually a big point. They're sitting there eating, and then it's just like, how was the dinner? And she literally puts her thing down and goes, where's the stuff? That woman is the woman in the most famous commercial of the 80s. Where's the beef?
Yeah, that's the Where's the Beef lady.
That is the same woman. And if you know the 80s or know anything about advertising, that woman was ridiculously famous.
Where's the beef? And then they made shirts, they made hats,
exactly. And that's why she says, where's the stuff? And that's why I had to include it in the intro, because I'm like, that's just fucking genius.
And I do like in the documentary that I saw, Larry Cohen just like, I shot other commercials, and I guess they'd be on they'd be on the DVD. But I don't know where that stuff is. So
that's a shame.
I don't know where that material is, so you're never going to see it.
In all fairness, I love the commercials in this. That is my favorite part of it. I'm going to give the movie 6 Where's the Stuffs out of 10. It's a
respectable score.
It is respectable.
For this movie.
It's better than average. I would have given it higher if it was a little more horror. Like, I think we've had the discussion where I like fucking Crazy too, but I like crazy when it's applied to horror. And this movie was not a horror movie. It just wasn't. It should have been, because the subject matter should have lent itself to it, but that's not the movie.
It's horror enough for us to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But Larry Cohen,
wanted more. Where's the horror?
I want horror mixed with ridiculous. Yeah. And Larry Cohen wasn't making that movie. Now, we also talked before, and like, I had seen this as a kid, but I don't have any nostalgic feelings for it, because I didn't remember it. I do not remember the movie at all. I wish I did, because I know as a kid I would have loved it, and that would have probably made it a better score, but I don't have that nostalgic feeling, unfortunately.
As far as MVPs are concerned, mine is Colonel Spears, because once he gets into the film, his lines are just delivered so dryly. Like, this crazy militiaman wanting a PR person because he thinks, like, no, I got some good things to say.
Yeah.
And to be just so in his own head of just like, we've never lost the war. What about Nam? We lost that war at home. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, I have to give it to him as well. I want to give it to Garrett Morris.
Plus, Paul Sorvino's a great actor.
He is.
So.
I want to give it to Garrett Morris. I really do. But for some reason, he exits the movie and doesn't come back for 45 minutes. He's not in it enough for me to count.
Which is weird, because you've had MVPs who are only in a scene.
Not like this. Yeah, but they're in it more than he is. Ooh, he is not in this movie very much. I don't know if
Aunt Martha was in
Aunt Martha. Well, Aunt Martha was fucking pivotal.
Right.
Without Aunt Martha, and in all honesty, in that movie, you can't pick anyone other than Aunt Martha.
It's kind of like a...
Everyone is shit except for her.
At least in this movie, there's other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had...
Because, like, that's the thing. Like, in all fairness, when it comes to Sleepaway Camp, it's Aunt Martha or bust. Yeah. There's nobody else you can really pick. But in here, there is another option, and unfortunately, if Garrett Morris was in... Like, personally, like, I'm going to steal this from another review I saw, but there is more chemistry between David Moriarty and Garrett Morris than there is with him and that lady whose name I can never pronounce.
Yeah.
There is no chemistry between those two at all. But Garrett Morris and David Moriarty are the best. And I want to see, like I said, I want to see a buddy cop movie of the two of them, because that's just awesome.
Oh, somebody should have watched this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Saw what these guys were like on a scene.
Yeah.
A scene.
Yeah.
And been like, we should do something with these two. Maybe not a buddy cop, but a buddy movie of some sort.
Larry Cohen's next movie should have been them two doing shit.
Like them two versus a monster.
Yeah. Like, that should have been the movie. But nobody did it, and I'm like, but were you watching? But, no.
Yeah. Either way.
Yep.
This movie's full of crazy characters, crazy actors.
Yep. It is a fun watch, I will say that. It is a fun
watch, we will say that.
Absolutely.
It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to find, but it is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, hint.
Yep.
I only say that because it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah,
I think there's a DVD of it.
We saw the Blu-ray at a local store, shout-outs to Bay Street Video, and it's like $40.
And yes, that's the copy I
Yeah.
I gladly paid $40.
I am never going to pay $40 for it.
Most wouldn't.
No.
Although that's Arrow Video for you. Everything Arrow does is like a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, well, I mean, they specialize in the crap no one wants, so if you want it, you're going to pay.
Not true. November, RoboCop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Off air, I'll talk.
Shit, I just bought that.
Isn't it always that way?
Yeah.
But speaking of creature features, is this...
Mm-hmm.
We,
something that is much more up my alley.
Yeah. And much more well-known.
Yeah. Finally.
We go back to the 90s, going way back to a day before my second birthday. July 18th, 1990, for the spiderific 90s classic, Arachnophobia.
Uh-huh. And for all you people who are afraid of spiders, I've done the notes. There's a lot of spider talk in it for you.
Yeah.
There you go. You're going to feel really creepy by the end of it.
Like the one Jeff Daniels film.
No, that is not true.
That he stars in? He stars in...
Dumb and Dumber?
I mean, like, Jeff Daniels is the star of this picture.
There is another one, but nobody's ever seen it but me. But it is a movie we will cover because I absolutely love it, called There Goes the Neighborhood.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know. This is the Jeff Daniels movie that anyone knows about other than me.
Yeah.
Because I like Jeff Daniels a lot.
But he won't be the MVP.
No!
We all know.
I mean...
If you've seen the movie.
Any movie that this guy is in, he's going to be the MVP. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But that will be next week, so we're going to get out of here. Yep. You were Steve.
You were Justin.
And we're way back and gone.
Where's the stuff?